Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Capital Gains Tax Solutions podcast, where we believe most high net worth individuals and their professional teams struggle to find great capital gains tax deferral options. Not having a clear plan is the enemy. Using a proven tax deferral strategy, such as the deferred sales trust, is the best way to exit highly appreciated assets tax deferred so you create, preserve, and grow more wealth. I'm your co host, Pearson York, filling in for Brett Schwartz. In each episode, I'm joined by some of the best wealth business, real estate, and leadership individuals in the world to share ideas, deal stories, and inspirations. So together we can make complex tax deferral strategies simple and passive income plans achievable. As always, we're streaming on Expert CRE Secrets, the Capital Gains Tax Solutions YouTube channel, Kingdom Luxury Realty Facebook channel. And so please rate, review, subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. And I'm super excited about our next guest. He is an econ legend, and I'm just super pumped to have him. He's been the CEO and founder of Ecom Balance for a few years now and has sold companies. And he's going to share with us how to make a ton of money on the ecom world. And so, if you guys please welcome Nathan Hirsch. Nathan, how you doing, man?
Doing great, man. Thanks so much for having me. Pumped to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, how'd you get started in ecom?
Yeah, so I started off as a 20-year-old broke college kid looking for extra side money, and I started buying and selling people's textbooks, my fellow students, and from there I had this pretty good textbook business going. I made a little extra beer money on the side, and before I knew it, I was taking a lot of money away from the school bookstore, and I got a cease and desist letter from my college telling me to knock it off, or I was going to get kicked out of school. So that ended up being one of the best things that ever happened to me. My parents are both teachers, so getting kicked out of school would not have gone over too well. But it forced me to pivot, and I'd sold some of these books on Amazon. This was 2008, 2009, super early days. No one really knew what Amazon was, and I just started experimenting with different products, and I would just spend hours and hours in my dorm just trying different products, trying to contact different manufacturers, different people who could ship products for me since I didn't have a warehouse or lots of money to buy inventory. And I found the niche of baby products and toys. If you can imagine me as a 20-year-old college kid with more hair and just living the frat life, but selling baby products on Amazon, that was me. And I started selling hundreds of thousands, eventually millions of dollars of baby products out of my college dorm room. And I quickly ran into an issue of just hiring people. The people I was hiring were college kids. They weren't very reliable. They were much more focused on partying and everything else that goes on at school. And a buddy of mine turned me on to the virtual assistant space, hiring VAs from the Philippines. And I got really great at that. Ended up spinning off an e-commerce hiring marketplace called FreeUp, which we can talk about. And we scaled that for 4 years before being acquired. And from there, we built Outsource School, which is our course on how we hire and our hiring system. And we also launched a new bookkeeping service, Ecom Balance, because the thing that kind of helped us grow and scale all our companies was making really good monthly decisions based on what the numbers were actually telling us. So that's kind of the long, short story. But I got into it just selling textbooks and went to baby products and then freelancers and VAs, and now Outsource School and Ecom Balance.
All right. So what did I tell you guys? Like ecom legend over here. Like who gets kicked out of school for selling textbooks? Because that's epic, man. So okay. So that was like how Amazon got started too, right? They were just an online bookstore. So you basically have the same roots as Jeff over there. Kind of sounds like.
Maybe it's funny. So we ended up selling like $25 million from 2008 to 2016. And at the beginning, we're like, we're going to take down Amazon. We're going to be like the next Amazon. And that didn't end up happening. Amazon became more competitive. They started changing their algorithm. Well, you got to keep in mind, we weren't selling our own brand of products. We were very dependent on manufacturers who eventually started selling themselves. So we kind of peaked out around $5-6 million a year. And then we were doing like a few $1,000,000 a year. And we were spending all our time just adjusting to Amazon and adjusting to the market. And that's why we ended up starting FreeUp. We kind of saw the writing on the wall that our Amazon strategy wasn't going to last long term. But it was exciting because with FreeUp, we got to actually like grow our own brand, do more B2B instead of B2C, have our own website, our own funnel, have long-term clients, have a brand that was actually sellable. So it all worked out, even though we spent a good 6-7 years in the Amazon space and learned a lot. We eventually pivoted and got out of it.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to dive into kind of 2 to 3 different aspects of your whole journey, I'll call it. And just so we have like a thesis for this show and a little outline. So the first thing I kind of want to talk about is just kind of like your business, how you kind of did it, and then I want to talk about the free up model, right, and how you actually trained VAs, because I think that is something that is so crucial today. Because, and I know from personal experience right now, I'm in the process of training a VA, right? So like, what are some best practices, some tips and stuff? Let's add a ton of value there, and then we'll talk about just briefly about how you sold the company and some of your tax strategies for that exit. So
yeah, let's start with the middle one. So here's kind of the beauty of the free up marketplace. We weren't actually training VAs and giving them to clients. Now we had an internal team of 30 VAs that we treated very well, and they got a large bonus when we sold, and we did train them, and we do teach people how to train VAs in outsource school. But with free up, we created the model so we would pre-vet VAs before we let them onto the marketplace. We had tests that they would go through in an interview process, but we were looking for people that already had experience. And then when we would connect them with the client, then they would work directly with the client. We wouldn't manage them. We wouldn't train them. We'd be there if any issues came up, but that allowed us to be very scalable, because what a lot of agencies do is they end up having to train their own people or manage people that they give to other people. And that wasn't our model at all. We were a straight up marketplace. Now, the way we got this off the ground is we had a lot of VAs and freelancers from our Amazon business that we were using part-time or seasonal, or as Amazon started to scale down, they had more hours. And we started off just leasing this out to other Amazon sellers. They said they had trouble hiring. We said, hey, we have a great Amazon graphic designer, great Amazon writer, whatever it was. And we would vouch for them. We told them if anything went wrong or they quit, we would cover replacement costs. And then we got feedback on what people liked about the service and what they didn't. And we took it to market with the most minimal software that was really crummy, that did very, very little. Clients could log into their account, they could see their billing, or they could see the hours of their freelancers, and that was it. All the billing was manual, all the matching freelancers was manual, a lot of Google Docs, but we used that to prove the process. And as we started giving out more freelancers and racking up hours, then we started to invest in the software while also building a recruitment team to go out and find more high quality freelancers that we could vet, because we were out of VAs. We'd given them all out. So that's kind of how we got it off the ground. A lot of people I talk to that build marketplaces, it's always the chicken or the egg situation. Do you get clients or do you get whatever you're supplying? And for us, we already had a little bit of supplies, and we use that to do the proof of concept and make sure that people really like the service. And only then did we really invest in the software and the marketing.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so when you would just basically, you wouldn't do any of the training and stuff, but you had over 30 VAs on your team.
So we did do training for them. So
yeah. So how did you? What were some of the best practices that you did? Maybe like 1 or 2 tips that you would say is like, hey, you have to do these things in order to get them to where you want them to be.
Yeah. So this is a lot what we teach in outsource school. So I kind of break it down into interviewing, onboarding, training, and managing. So interviewing, we have what we call CARE, which stands for communication, attitude, red flags, and experience. So half the battle of training someone is making sure that you're training the right person. So we don't just look for someone with skill. We don't look for someone who's cheap. We want someone who has great communication, who has a great attitude, who has the experience we need. And we look for a lot of red flags during the interview process. What is this person saying that shows me they might leave for another job? They might have internet issues. They might not understand what I'm saying and learn quickly. So that's a big part of the interview process. Then we have setting expectations, which we call SICK, which is schedule, issues, communication, and culture. And we let them know exactly what they're getting into, almost scaring them a little bit. Scared probably isn't the right word, but if it's not a good fit, that's fine. We want to know before we invest training and effort into them. So we really make it clear what's going to be expected of them before they even get started. And then with training, we have SOPs, we standard operating procedures for everything that we do. And we give them those SOPs. We give them a time away from us to review it, to ask questions. And then we have them watch us do it. And then we have them do it while we give them feedback. So we kind of have a step-by-step process as we build that out. And the key to all that is giving really good feedback and cutting bait early. If we're giving someone feedback and they're not listening to it, or I have to repeat myself over and over and over, that's usually a red flag that I'm wasting a lot of time and I need to find someone else. So a big part of our process is having good SOPs, giving them time to read it and ask questions, having them do it and giving feedback, and then deciding early on, you want to find out in that first week or two, not 3-4 months in, whether they're really an A player, because we only want to work with A players on our team.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so CARE is what was the acronym for CARE again?
Communication, attitude, red flag, and experience.
Okay. Communication, attitude, red flags, experience. And then SICK was
schedule. So if they can work the schedule on issues, so that could be power issues, personal issues, internet issues, culture, which is, are they a culture fit for your company? And then communication again.
okay. And so and you must have a pretty rigorous outline or a pretty detailed outline of the type of person that you are looking for the position before you even hire them. So you know what you're looking for. You're not just throwing it against, I'm assuming.
We know what we're looking for, but at the same time, and part of the beauty of outsource school is everything's designed to get done quickly. Like we will have 45-minute interviews or less, sometimes 30 minutes. The one I did this morning, we're hiring a bookkeeper, was 30 minutes. Setting expectations is another 30 to 45 minutes. And then training just depends on what the task is. But we're talking very little time to get through the process because we know what questions to ask. We know what we're looking for. We know what red flags to see. And that's what we want to teach people. Like, you don't need to interview someone for 4 hours to see if they're a good fit, but you do need to know what you're looking for and be able to predict things that could go wrong in the future to address them early on.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So if someone's interested in outsource school, how can they get in touch with you for that?
Yeah, just go to outsourceschool.com. We've got a bunch of free training there. You can set up a call with our team if you're interested, or just join. But you're going to get like our exact interview process, the exact questions we ask, the exact set expectations and onboarding process we put people through. You're going to get tools for creating SOPs. We actually give you all of our SOPs that you can use and plug into your business, and then how to manage them, how to run meetings, how to handle issues that come up, how to fire someone if that comes up, how to turn things around, all the things that kind of go into managing that pulled my hair out for years and years before I really figured out the right way.
Okay, cool. So you basically have this pretty little package that you can deliver to somebody that is turnkey and ready to go. They can implement it right away and be way better. How long is the program?
So the initial stuff takes you about 4 hours. That's just interviewing, onboarding, training, and managing. But we've got tons of extras for specific jobs. So for example, if you want to hire a video editor, a writer, or a VA for lead generation, we have specific SOPs for those roles. And each of those is an hour or two, but those are just kind of extras. The actual core hiring process is a few hours.
Okay, outsource school. I'm going there after this because I need it. Awesome. So, all right. So then you scaled this business up and sold it. And so this is a tax show. So
Free Up, not outsource school. We still own outsource school.
Still own outsource school. You sold Free Up, which is
yes.
the
marketplace
that you guys created. Okay. So how did you guys deal with the tax implications of that?
Yeah. So there's two strategies that I'm aware of. I'm sure my accountant did other stuff too, but I mean, we had retirement accounts, so we were able to put as much money as we possibly could into those retirement accounts at the sale. And then the actual sale was split into like money up front plus the earn out. So now we're years out from it. So we ended up getting every penny from it. And we did a really good job vetting our buyers, and they're great people, high value human beings who honored their word and paid us every cent. But the beauty of that is it ended up getting broken down over 3 or 4 years. So the first year we were in a pretty high tax bracket just because we sold it in November. So we had all the money that we made from a very profitable business through November plus a lump sum. And we were able to take that and divide it out over into 1 year and also the others. And then the earnout was also split out over the next few years as well. So I went from a pretty high tax bracket to a very low tax bracket. As we got outsourced school and now econ balance off the ground, we weren't making it as much as free up. So that was kind of how we did it. It was also taxed as capital gains, not ordinary income, because it's a sale of a company. But yeah, I mean, you're the tax specialist. Maybe I went wrong somewhere there.
No, I don't think so. I think that you did a lot with what you had and what you know. But I will, I will say that there are some strategies out there that you can leverage for the future. If you plan on selling any of your other businesses, which never say never, because you've already sold one. So this might be some good value to you. But I think one of the biggest frustrations with a 1031 is that you can't do it with a business. Right. A lot of people will do a 1031 with commercial real estate or whatever, and there's its own pitfalls to it, right? You have time constraints and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, right, you can't even do it with a business. And so you're limited, especially as a business owner. One of the things that, and because of that, and one of the strategies that we have is we use what's called a deferred sales trust, which allows you to basically exit any highly appreciated asset. It can be a business, it can be stock, it could be real estate, it could be crypto, it could be a primary home, it could be art, it could be a domain that's highly appreciated, anything. It doesn't matter. And you can defer all the tax. And what's cool about it is there's no time constraints or there's no like-kind constraints. So like with commercial real estate, you have to 1031 into more commercial real estate. Well, a market that's appreciating, right? You're selling high, right? And then you're buying higher 180 days later. With a business, you can't even do a 1031. So what else do you do? Well, you can use a deferred sales trust, which allows you to take, basically get paid in full lump sum and then invest those assets into whatever you want. It could be real estate, it could be business, it could be stock, it could be crypto, it could be a combination thereof of all of them. Or, right, you could put it into conservative accounts and wait until deals hit you over the head and then use your trust to go about and reinvest the funds. And so it's a super powerful strategy to use. And you guys can learn more about that by going to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com. And
you're listening, do that. I'm going to be doing that after the show.
Yeah. So it's there's also a mastermind that's every Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, that I'll definitely invite you to. And it's a phenomenal place to come learn and grow, ask questions and whatnot. So you guys can find out all of that at capitalgainstaxsolutions.com. So yeah, Nathan, for your next exit, this is definitely something to consider because it will save you millions and millions and millions of dollars, on the exit of businesses.
Awesome.
So something to really keep in mind. And we have a full team of VAs out in the Philippines that does a lot of the stuff for us already, so it's outsourced and whatnot. So it's right up. We're using the same things that you are. So I want to kind of get back to that too, and just kind of ask you a little bit about econ balance and what you're doing there and how is that whole thing working? What's the value you get from that?
Yeah. So I think I really like unsexy businesses, hiring processes, bookkeeping, but they're really the core to every company. Like there's very few entrepreneurs who make bad hires that have success, or who have bad process, or who have success, or who don't understand their finances and have success. So a big thing that we did in Free Up early on is hire a bookkeeper from day one, even before we were profitable. And we had a good monthly bookkeeping process. So the month would end within 15 days. We would get income statement, balance sheet, cash flow. And then we had a meeting on our calendar, my business partner, Connor, and I, where we would go through all the numbers and make decisions based on the numbers. And that's what everyone listening should have in their calendar every single month. We have a finance agenda meeting, or a meeting finance agenda for you to grab at econbalance.com that you can go through with your partner. But this has to happen. With our Amazon business, we made the mistake of doing our books ourselves, which is a disaster. Entrepreneurs should never be doing their own bookkeeping. It's not a great use of your time, and most entrepreneurs are just not good at it, and you have to pay to get it redone afterwards. or we would dump it on our account at the end of the year and they would file taxes with it, which is fine, but we wouldn't actually be able to make decisions every single month and we would just be flying by the seat of our pants. So with FreeUp, we set up that good monthly bookkeeping process. The month would end, we'd get reports, we'd go through and make decisions. And this is how we decided, hey, we should hire more people. We should invest in marketing. These are the services that are selling well. We should find more freelancers with this. We could actually make those decisions on a month-to-month basis. And there's a lot of benefits to having clean books. If you go to sell your business, you can actually do it and pass due diligence like we did. It makes tax season a lot less stressful because all your books, you can get funding and investments. But to me, the number one thing that applies to every entrepreneur is that ability to make good decisions based on what the numbers are actually telling you. That is the key.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let me ask you this, right? So it's called Ecom Balance. So are you only doing it for online e-commerce stores, or tell me a little bit about the breadth of the services you guys provide?
Yeah, so we do have a team of very high-level bookkeepers, and we service a lot of e-com businesses. And I've been in the e-com space for a while, so it made sense to target them. We are launching a separate brand called Accounts Balance. The site's going up right now, but we have a separate team that just does non-e-commerce businesses. So if you're a non-e-commerce business, we can still do your bookkeeping. E-commerce bookkeeping tends to be more complicated than regular bookkeeping, so we can definitely help you out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So for those of you who are, these mom and pop entrepreneurs who have commercial real estate and have businesses in their commercial real estate, or have businesses that you're doing on your own and you don't have the bookkeepers, it sounds like you guys really got your processes squared away, and you have a very specific, and I probably should have asked this question first, so I might as well just do that now. But what are one or two gifts or strengths that you have that allowed you to be successful today?
Yeah, I mean, this kind of goes into bookkeeping. So before we started Ecom Balance, we did a lot of market research. We interviewed like 200 plus online businesses, e-commerce sellers. We looked at our competition. And the fact is, a lot of bookkeeping firms are run by bookkeepers. They're good at bookkeeping. They're not necessarily good at the things that come with business, which includes hiring and scaling and marketing and building really good processes. So I think that's our strength. We're really good at hiring. I would put our bookkeeping team against anyone out there. They are phenomenal. Our clients absolutely love them. We're good at processes. We've created great SOPs. And a lot of the reasons why we did a beta test with 30 clients was to get them in there and use them to break all our processes and force us to build great processes for day one. I think we're good at scaling. We're good at imagining what happens. We have 50 clients now, but what happens when we have 150 clients or 250 clients? And a lot of other bookkeeping services aren't looking that far ahead. So it really is a combination of the hiring, the processes, and the finances. Even in Ecom Balance, every month we have that meeting. We go through and we make decisions based on what the numbers are actually telling us. And when you combine that with a really strong team and really good systems, that's how a business really takes off.
Sounds like you're really disciplined.
It's consistency over quantity, I think. I mean, a lot of people, they're trying to make these just gigantic moves. We try to just be consistent. We're doing the same thing every single day. We're taking steps every single day. We focus on what we can control and not what we can't control. And we also evaluate other people. We're very quick to make moves if someone's not an A player. And we don't have time to work with people that are not A players. Even if they're a B plus player, it's just not worth it for us. And we learned that the hard way over the course of the Amazon business.
So let me ask you this. How do you walk this balance between getting your SOPs and building out these systems and processes and everything, and doing revenue generating activities that might not necessarily follow? How do you walk the balance of building the back end?
Oh, I think I lost you. Uh-oh, I lost him. Sorry, guys. I'm sure he'll be back shortly. There he is.
Back. Yes. Sorry about that. Not really sure what happened. Okay. So anyways, how do you...
I got your question. How do you balance it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, first, the thing that we do with any new business is we set really good expectations with our clients. We did a beta round. We offered free bookkeeping for a few select people to start off, and with the expectations that we're hiring people, we're training people, we're building process. Bear with us. There's going to be growing pains. I don't know exactly what those are going to be, but they're going to happen. And part of us giving away a little free bookkeeping is for you to bear with us. And luckily, we took on some great clients, people who I've known throughout the years who trusted me, and I'm very humbled about that, but also gave us time to build those processes. And in terms of revenue generating tasks, it's that Connor and I have 8-9 hours in a day, and so we're off small. We're focused 6 hours a day on building systems, 2 hours on revenue or marketing, and then from there we're slowly scaling that back into 5 and 3, and then 4 and 4. And right now we're at the point where the bookkeepers don't need us as much. They have good systems. We have team leaders. They're building systems without us. So now we can put more into those revenue generating activities. But it's progressive over time, and we're not pushing the envelope because we don't want to overwhelm our team with too many clients and bad processes. So we're very conscious about that from day one. Pierce, you still there? Hey.
Yeah, I don't know why this keeps buzzing out, but um, okay. So you're progressive over time, and you're making these decisions monthly, and using your numbers to make the decisions, and just growing it little by little.
Yeah, it's consistency. We're doing the same thing every single day, and then we're slowly etching it up. And we're also talking to our team and seeing where they're at. If they're behind on a lot of stuff, we're not going to throw a bunch of clients on them and turn it into chaos. We want to progressively grow.
Awesome. So Nathan, what are those like one or two things that you're doing consistently every day that help you to scale?
Sure. So, I mean, the first thing we do is we have meetings where we talk to our team and we share with them what's going on. We keep them updated. We keep them focused on our culture and our goals. So that's a big piece of it. The second thing is we put out content pretty consistently. So my business partner is great at SEO. You can check out the Ecom Balance blog. We're constantly putting out content and hopefully what we consider high value content that actually helps
Yeah.
people. And the last thing is outbound. You can call it lead generation, you can call it just outbound, but and that's everything. So we're reaching out to blogs, we're reaching out to podcasts, we're reaching out to potential partners, we're reaching out to potential clients, we're reaching out to people for recruitment to hire bookkeepers. And it's not like we're contacting 250 people a day, but it's 10 of every single category every single day, 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year. And because we're doing that consistency, even though we get rejected, even though people ignore us, you're still breaking through the cracks here and there and getting a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it's consistency and your outbound marketing, um, and you're building the SOPs. You got great people in place. You got a great team. You got a great you got a great business model. It's unsexy, but it's a need that people have, and so you get out there and just build it and grow.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right. Well, we're kind of running up on our time here, so I wanted to get you into the lightning round really quick. So,
Let's do it.
are you ready?
I am ready.
Awesome. Okay. So, what is your favorite book?
Tools of Titans. I think it's behind me in orange, like over there. Tim Ferriss is great. I listen to his podcast while I work out every day, and it's got like the top interviews from the top people in a bunch of different categories, from health to wealth to relationships. And I'll just open it up and read a chapter. It's a bunch of essentially short stories or short interviews. Definitely recommend people check it out.
Awesome. Awesome. What is your favorite leadership quote?
Ooh, that's a good one. Favorite leadership quote. I don't know if this is a leadership quote, but my mom, since I was little, always just said, work hard, play hard. And that's kind of how I live my life and how my business partner does and what we tell our team. Like, we want it to be fun. We want to work hard and give it our all, but we're not here to ruin people's lives or make people stressed out or whatever it is. Like, it should be treated as fun. We want people to enjoy what we're doing because we enjoy what we're doing.
Awesome. What are you most curious about right now?
What am I most curious about right now? I'm a new foster parent with a new foster teenager. So
Congratulations.
learning how to be a better parent to a teen. I think that's my top priority right now, which I
If you
know.
get some SOPs for that, please,
Right.
please, please start a business and send them my way. I'll pay you whatever you want. Awesome. Cool. All right. Nathan, any parting words?
No, I mean, if anyone's interested, check out App Store School, check out Econ Balance. If you go to Econ Balance, mention this podcast, get 2 free months of bookkeeping.
Cool.
Remember, we work with ecom and non-e-commerce businesses, and feel free to connect with me on social media. I love just connecting with other entrepreneurs. Nathan Hersha on any social media channel.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. And if you guys are interested in learning more about the deferred sales trust, go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com and you can learn all about that. You can set up a strategy call with us. If you have a live deal, come to our mastermind every Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And Nathan, I'll definitely be sending you an invite there so you can come check it out, ask questions, bring your professionals, and so on and so forth. So make sure you guys go to econbalance.com or Outsource School and check out what Nathan's got. There's a ton of value there. I'm going there right now to figure out how I can train and do a better job at scaling the people on our team and whatnot. So it's just been phenomenal value add today, Nathan, and I'm so grateful you came on the show. And guys, go check it out for sure.
Awesome, man. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. And thanks everybody for listening to another episode of the Capital Gains Tax Solutions podcast, where we believe most high net worth individuals and their professional teams struggle to find great capital gains tax deferral options. Using a deferred sales trust is a fantastic way to exit highly appreciated assets tax deferred so you create, preserve, and grow your wealth. Please rate, review, subscribe, comment, share. Did I miss anything? Post.
You're good.
I don't know. All that fun stuff, right? And we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks again, Nate.